Hey guys, Caitlin Abreu here, and today I wanted to bring you in the process that I use and perimeters I've created to help myself create a product within one day. Going from the complete ideation, inspiration, to the actual production and finalized product that I can post on an e-commerce website to figure out if people want to buy it and have it for sale. So today we're going to be doing that about a lamp that I'm designing currently, and we're going to go through the 5 steps, which are inspiration, ideation, prototyping, financing, and finishing. The financing side of things, just gonna share now. It doesn't have to do with manufacturing, so we're not going to China to get these things made. We are making them as small businesses at home. So if that sounds like something you wanna do to be able to make a product in your home and then be able to sell it on an e-commerce website, this is a video for you. So let's get right into the inspiration aspect of this process. Okay, so the first place you're gonna head is obviously to the internet, the World Wide Web, because you're gonna need to find some inspiration. Now, sometimes product ideation and inspiration comes from you taking a walk, and it's a beautiful story. And that does happen, and that has happened. For me, the other day I was sitting on the couch and I started thinking about mid-century modern furniture and how much I love it. And I started thinking about Charles and Ray Eames, who are the Eames family, who basically invented, as we probably know, the Eames lounge chair. This is obviously not the full size. And it's like a $7,000 lounge chair that is just basically designed and created to perfection. And so this couple in the mid 1900s, the 1950s area of time, were creating mid-century modern furniture, and they were crushing it. Like, they were bringing in this idea. And so I started researching their family. I started looking them up. This is Ray and Charles Eames. They're a rad couple. They've got super awesome pictures of themselves in their homes with a lot of chairs that you see fakes and remakes of today. And so I started just kind of, I was just researching and looking through their home photos because I thought, well, maybe they have some objects inside of their home that I could, base things off of. And so that's when I came across the Eames house, which is in Southern California, not too far from where I grew up. And it's this beautiful, ginormous home that they designed, and the Eames Foundation, you can go and visit it. It's very, very cool. So we'll look up the Eames house. And after I started looking into the Eames house, which, as you can see, is just beautiful. Truly perfection, if you ask me, on a living room situation. They have absolutely crushed it. So I was just looking, at objects. I was looking at random things that they have inside their home. Maybe this, maybe that, clocks, staircases, random things like that. And then I came across this drawing. Now, I came across this drawing, has some red people on it. I'm like, okay, cool. I come across this drawing and I really like the dimension that the house is drawn in. I think, wow, this is pretty cool. And there's a few different images of it. So basically what I would do is just drag this to an Illustrator file where that image can live, so that I'm not dependent on Google for finding that photo again. So that's why I have my Illustrator window open up over here. It's just easy, and I just drag things in there as I get inspiration. As I'm looking through these, this home photo, I love the warm tones. This is just like absolutely gorgeous. So I'm pulling these images and these warm tones that I love just over here, just honestly just throwing them on there. This is the beginning. This is when your mind is just coming up with the idea, the inspiration. So that's where I'm at in my inspiration process, which then takes me into the ideation, which is usually where I actually get out of Google. I get rid of it. I say, don't want that no more. And I open up Shaper 3D, which Shaper 3D is the app in which I do all of my CAD designs. I think it's basically the Mac OS of 3D CAD. I've tried a lot of the other apps, and I have a lot of the other apps, but personally, I just love Shaper 3D. I love the way it looks. So this brings us to the design that I was working on, which basically I ended up creating this design in probably 1 hour, and after 1 hour, I decided to do a test print. So the concept is quite simple. It's basically, this will be your lampshade, and this is the actual base in which the lampshade slides into. On the inside, there is a light bulb coming out sideways, not your typical light, how they usually are pointing upwards. And you would then just, after you have your light bulb inside, you would just slide this right on. There would be a point in which inside where it would stop, and that would then determine how long your lamp is and where it extends. So this would be a desk lamp. After I 3D printed this, it took 30 minutes to 3D print, 1 hour to CAD design, maybe less. It's very, very simple. And I realized, you know what? I'm not crazy about this boxy feeling. I want it to be more on an angle because I want it to come back to this concept. I want it to be how this is like protruding from the trees on an angle. And so that's where we're at right now in the CAD design. And you can see I have both bodies here. So this one is the part that slides on right here. And this is the base. So obviously with 3D printing, you have to always think about FDM and how it's gonna print in layers. And you have to always think through, can I 3D print this? Is this gonna be possible? And as you can see, this is the orientation in which I had to print them and how I had to layer them so that they could be 3D printed easily. So let's go ahead and go into a time lapse where I'm just gonna keep working on this CAD and trying to make it a little bit more the style in which I want it to be. And I'll continue pulling from these inspirations over here. Spent about an hour just fixing it, I mean, it's a completely different design than what I started out with, but it really does pull from this original inspiration of the Eames house, which is what I wanted it to look like. And so I've added obviously the hole for the lamp to go through. I added a little holder on the inside. The base is angled, the lampshade is angled, and I'm pretty happy with how this looks. I always just kind of check it out in visualization just to like double check that I'm really vibing with it. And these are the print colors that I'll be using for the final. Yeah, pretty happy with it. And then what I always do is I always keep that file together, which is, you know, how it's gonna look. And then I create a second folder, which is the print test. And I'm gonna take this into Ultimaker Cura and basically print it at a miniature size. So it's gonna come out like this. This is a 2-piece print currently. I already know that this print is gonna tell me what I need to work on for the lamp to fit inside. I use this one that I currently already own as my reference, and I just used the calipers and just measured and made that on the model, as you can see. And then I have this light bulb as well, which works with this. This way I'm not spending any money on the original prototype version. And then when we figure out sourcing for the cable, the plug obviously, off of Amazon later on, then I would obviously adjust it and know that my the version of holding this in there will work. So we're using this for now to save money. So obviously we're not gonna know that this fits perfectly until we do the full size print, but that's gonna take a long time. So first we're gonna print a miniature, see if we like the way it's sitting, you know, if everything's looking good. And then from there, we're going to print the next full size in a really cheap filament, just to test it out. So we have some updates here. So I printed out a larger version of this one. And what I realized is that I want this part of the lampshade, I want it to be inlaid into the base. Right now, it just sits perfectly on top, but I think I want it to go in about 5 millimeters, drop down. So I've got some glue on my hands because I glued these together so that they can just stay together. But I do really like the shape, I like the angle, everything's looking good. And I like the depth of it as well. So what I really need to fix is how far in this is gonna sit. And then I think we're pretty good. So I'm gonna just do that now in Shaper 3D, and then we're gonna print another. Okay, so yes, I have changed my outfit about 67 times, but that is not the point. We printed a very nice model of our light. We're getting bigger and bigger, as you can see, as we prototype. I basically just wanted to make sure that this top lamp shade would fit into the cutout, which as you can see is a very tight fit, which I've adjusted for the full size, just to be a little bit looser, because I mean that is quite tight. And if we want it to be packageable on a smaller package, we don't want it to be so tight that the user thinks they're breaking it when they're putting it together, or that they break it if they ever need to take it off to change out the light bulb, which they should be able to change out from here, but you never know. So what we're gonna do now, after this very successful print, is I think we're gonna print a full size. I'm always scared to print the full size, I'm gonna be honest. But mostly it's because I don't wanna waste filament, but honestly, you literally aren't gonna know if it's gonna work until you do it. So no matter what, it's gonna work in some capacity. It's just probably not gonna be perfect, and I expect that. But you have to do this to figure out if your products are gonna work and be sellable, and what you need to fix so that they can be sellable. So let's go ahead, we're gonna export it from the slicer, Ultimaker Cura, throw it on there. It's probably gonna take like 12 hours, so I'll see you again in a new outfit. Hey guys, Caitlin from the future here. If you want to get this kind of content before everybody else and be in these community conversations, join my Patreon page that I just started, where I will be posting all the things I'm creating, and you guys get exclusive content and super fun stuff. We get to chat about product design, being a maker, and collaborate on ideas. So thanks for watching, and continue the video. Okay, good morning. I did just roll out of bed so that I could come in here and check on my 3D print that took 15 hours. It's kind of like you're creating like the best cake of your life, and you have to wait for it to bake for 15 hours, and all you want to do is try it out to make sure, one, that it worked out. And that's what we're doing. So I woke up and it worked out, y'all. So the light, I put the light in. It is very snug. I'm talking I need to adjust it kind of snug. But I was able to get this in here, and because it's so snug, I actually don't know if I need the little mount that I put on there for the light to be held when it's like this, because it literally is not moving at all. Like, it's not going anywhere. But I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's turned on. This cable is ridiculously long. That is something we'll change. But here it is, as you can see, super exciting. Right now, it literally is as so. Kind of cool, you can see the tri-hex pattern with the 10% infill on this one. So I think I'll probably change that in some finals because I would prefer it to not be so hexagonal and obvious that it is. But super exciting. Now I'm just gonna print a matte green base for it, and then we'll have a finished lamp, which at the end of this I'm gonna sell. So what's really gonna be interesting is if the side walls are gonna allow for this top to click inside perfectly without glue. That's what we're gonna find out. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this. It says it's gonna take 12 hours. It's about 3 pounds worth of, no, I think pounds, or is that euros? That's euros. 3 euros worth of filament at a standard quality with a 10% infill tri-hex, which in my experience is always the fastest. Yeah, let's see what happens. We have a finished lamp. We have the base in this beautiful Hatchbox matte PLA. It printed so nicely. I'm very happy with how this turned out. And now what we've all come to here for, actually, I mean, I don't know if you guys came here for this, is to see if this is gonna fit into here. Are we ready? Wait, it's perfect. It's literally perfect. There's like, you know, it's not loose, so like I can leave it like this. I can't do upside down. We can't do the Dairy Queen test, but it goes in. So the back panel has more resistance than the sides, which makes sense just because it's deeper and it's like chunkier in that spot. But look at this. Very, very happy with how this turned out. Let me just turn this light on. Yeah, pretty stoked. Pretty cool. I love the angle. I love how we went from the original drawing of the Eames house to this, because I think we did a really good job. I'm telling myself I did a really good job, and I'm saying we because I don't want to feel alone, you know what I mean, as a product designer. So, beautiful, really stoked. Now let's go into the financing side of things. We are here. So, what we've got here is basically the financing aspect of this video, which I said in the beginning that we're not gonna go to manufacturers. We're doing this as a small business, as if you were gonna put this on Etsy and you wanna be able to sell it and still make some money. So what I found here is a pack of 3 white plug-in light cords. Obviously, you're gonna have to adjust the hole on the back for these new cables once you get them. But you have a working prototype, so you've solved the hardest part. You just need to now adjust the insert area for these. Yeah, and you're gonna get 3 of them, $22.99 divided by 3. You've got, I mean, I'm not a brilliant person here. You've got $23 divided by 3. You've got $7.67 without tax on each of them, okay? And then in filament, we spent about 6 euros. So, you know, whatever, you can take 6 euros to dollars. You spend $6.26 on your print. So then you're gonna add what did I say? 767, oh gosh, 767. I was right. So now you're at $13.93 for your cost. And then you're gonna want to, you're not gonna provide them a light bulb, you're just providing them the pendant cord plus the print. So you're at $13.93. And then of course you have to think about your packaging. If you're gonna ship it with USPS, then you have free packaging options. If you're not, then you need to think through your packaging options, which this is obviously pretty small. And what's really cool about it is that it basically folds inside of itself without the light bulb. So anyways, when you go to ship this, you're going to ship it like that. So really what you need to manage is a package that will hold this. And you've 8 by 6 inch. So you would want to figure out how much an 8 by 6 inch is going to cost you so that you can put it into your rough estimate. We'll just assume that the box itself is maybe going to be around 75 cents if we buy them in bulk. And then your shipping cost, probably $12 on shipping. Now I'm gonna go to the post office and test that, but this is just to basically say how much are we in to be able to make profit. Now I've seen lamps on Etsy. If we just take a quick little reference over to Etsy and we type in 3D printed lamp, you're gonna find lamps for a varying amount of prices. I mean, this one's $129, but the most average price is $40 to like $60 is what I'm finding on here for my research. This one, I feel like kind of the person who buys this would maybe be likely to buy this as well. It's like that similar design idea. I mean, look at this. This is literally $413. It's a star seller. We're not in that business though. I would assume that listing this at about $50 for the fact that it is mid-century design and really beautiful would be a fair starting price. So basically you would be able to double your investment if you didn't charge them shipping, but obviously you charge them shipping. So you're gonna look at about $13.93 plus 0.75 for the package. So you're at about $15. Let's just estimate you're at $15 in. Okay, and you charge 50 minus 50. Oh wow, not that much. 50 minus 15, you're at $35 profit. And then they're gonna be spending though, you have to remember shipping, they're gonna be spending around $62 because they're probably gonna be charged $12 for shipping, which I'm guessing is around the part where I would max out on what I want to pay for shipping. I always try to like, within how much you charge, put some room for shipping because shipping prices are getting higher and higher, and when people see them, they hate them. So you kind of want to soften the blow. So we're gonna go for $12 max on the shipping. So that still puts us at, if we listed it for 50 and it cost us around 15, we're making $35 per lamp. Okay, so what I like to think about finishing is that it means posting it so that you can start selling it. So I have my own website with an online store where I post the video or post the products that I create, one of them being the desk lamp. So finishing is gonna be, you know, taking your product photos of what you're selling, posting them online in a way that, you know, shows people what it is. You know, putting some context to it, giving them color options, which, yeah, this is basically, we're creating another color option for the base, and I'm also working on a concrete option, which I'll be making a video about pouring the concrete and creating the silicone mold and everything like that, which is super exciting. I'm really excited to do. But this is what I mean to finishing. And then also I've posted it on Etsy with a different price point. I went for a little bit higher. I went for 55, just because I wanted to see what, I literally have no clue how to use Etsy, by the way. I posted it for $54.50, as you can see. And yep, it's here. I posted it with a different photo. I'm just testing out like different things. As you can see, I posted it here on my desk. So this is what I mean by finishing, is just getting it out to the public. And then from there, you just need to share it with everyone you know. Because that is really how you're gonna get those sales. You literally could text all of your best friends, all of your family, and then the more and more following and product sales you get, you'll grow from there. Obviously use every social media channel you have. That's usually what I do, is I post things to Instagram, and then from there get orders, and I ship out just through Instagram. So this is, like I said, the very small business version of creating products at home and selling them out to the world. From there, of course, you can grow to be a huge business, but this is a way that you can cut all the fear, cut all the excuses, and just get started and start selling the things that you want to sell. So I hope you guys take this video as the creative inspiration that you need to get started creating products and selling things online for your own small businesses. It doesn't have to be that daunting. I took you through the whole process, so you literally saw every single moment. There's nothing I really hid in this video or tried to fake. I just wanted to be, you went along with me, so of course it's a longer video, but I wanted you to be able to reference back to it and remember that these things take time, especially when you're 3D printing and you have to wait for them to print overnight, and sometimes these things can take a few days even when you finish the design in one. I hope the 5 pointers that I brought up about inspiration, ideation, prototyping, financing, and finishing help you to just get through the next ideation cycle you go on and not feel so overwhelmed when you start with a blank slate. These perimeters have helped me a ton to just get going and create a product and try to get it on the internet to see if people want to buy it. So I hope it helps you. And if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and like and subscribe. It helps a ton. And comment below what kind of business you're running and a link to where I can go check it out. All right, guys. Thank you. See ya.